Okay, so we'll record just me. So if you're just joining, we're going to use a floor mat later on today. And we'll be using hand weights today, but not right away. So I'm going to put my hand weights under the chair. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to get started with a stretch. And then before we go to some balance work. So for now, you could have your shoes off or on. If you're on a non-slippery surface, like a rug, it's okay to have your shoes off, and it's even good for the feet. When we go to impacts, we'll probably put the shoes on to protect the feet. Okay, but let's go ahead, feet hip width apart. Okay, so I'm standing there. Now, what can I do to make engage the muscles that support my spine, my hips, my shoulders a little better? I think I'll contract my seat and then my abdominal muscles and urinary muscles kind of follow. So I get that firm core, palms forward, pull back a little, a breath in and a breath out. A breath in. On the breath out, contract those core muscles a little more. And let's bring the arms up and see if you can grab either your hands together, maybe your forearms, maybe even your elbows. So I'm kind of have my elbows out. I'm pretty flexible. I can reach my elbows there. But even if you're not so flexible, just to kind of connect somehow over your head. So this gives us, we're in a good position now, adding the core to go over to the side and maybe even a little extra pull. So you can use that connection of the arms to get a little more stretch. A breath in and out. A breath in and out. And then we'll just come to the front. We can keep that connection. And we're going to twist and look towards your back elbow and to the front. The whole body's twisting. Look back and forward. Look back and front. Look back and front. And then we're just going to swivel, open the book, add your core, a breath in, a breath out, and then opening and closing with those backward arm circles. We're thinking of rotating, gliding, sliding those shoulder joints, and really spreading the fingers as we go around. Okay, let's try some one leg stand. So I'm close enough to my chair so that I can reach out and touch the chair if I need it. Now with that stand, if I need the hand on the chair, I'm going to take one arm and swing it. If I don't need that arm so much, I'll take two hands and give them a swing as I do a pretty serious knee lift. And then I'm going to change my arm movement. So now it's going to be a batter swing, back and forth with the knee lift. You could always hold on with one arm. And we have people recovering from surgery and for other reasons, needing to be careful with balance. Like a batter swing here. Okay, we'll bring the arms down and then let's just circle back. Contract your core and down. Okay, think of a frisbee throw. Frisbee throw. Let's see with that one if we could just stand on one leg and do a frisbee throw, a frisbee throw. So always, if you need it, you could just be doing one arm. If you have the other arm available to you, then a frisbee throw. We'll put that leg down. We're going to lift the other leg, engage your core, kind of curl your toes into the ground. That will help with the balance. Frisbee, 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 and down. Okay, add the core, and we're going to go to the toes. And here's where you could have a finger or two fingers on the chair to help with balance. We want to really squeeze the seat, push the ribs forward so you feel this little hollow under the lower edge of your ribs. Stretching up. And let's do a breath in with the toe raise. And you can use one arm or both arms. And circle the shoulders back. Okay, now we're going to go behind the chairs. So you can use a finger on both hands or one hand as needed. I'll move my chair so you can see me. And we're going to do some movements preparing to move to music for that kind of coordination. Okay, so one of those movements is we'll turn slightly sideways. You could rest one hand on the chair if you need. And we're going to just do knee raises on one side, working on control, balance, coordination. And turn a little to the other side, and you could have one finger on the chair if you need. And we'll do those controlled knee lifts. So I'm trying to keep my ribs forward, trying to keep that hollow underneath the ribs, trying to land softly on my foot. A breath in, a breath out. Now I'm going to tap one toe forward. So it'll be just to the side of your chair. So that it's actually tapped forward at an angle. Really tighten the seat on your standing leg. And then with a lot of control, we'll give a lift and a very light tap down. Let's go to the other leg. Tight seat. What you want, you can even bring your hand to your hip there. You don't want your hip moving out. Want your hip staying under, your ribs lifted, and that controlled lifted lower. And we'll bring that in. Let's take a breath in and out. And then we're going to do that back leg lift. So you face the chair, a hand or a finger or two if you need it. And I'm turning to show you what it looks like. It's a straight leg lift back and a light tap down. And it's a lot of seat contraction. And with that lift, you don't want to come forward. Then the seat doesn't work very hard. Stay up. So your seat muscle really contracting. And let's switch legs. Back, 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 and back. And then let's face the chair again. Let's relax. So that tightens the back. It's good to use those back muscles, but let's slide down. We will, you might step back just a bit from your chair. So you can slide down till your fingertips touch your knees. Check in. Knees and feet equally separated. You want kind of straight lines. And then we'll curl up and really stretch your low back. Pull in your belly, tuck your chin. Inhale, forward a little arch, and then curl up, and then unroll. And now, since you're slightly stepped back from the chair, you're in a good position to do a little step forward, and we'll just nudge the front knee. So a partial lunge, both feet are flat. And then we want to change. Now for the change, you could step back and step forward, nudge, nudge. Again, I'm trying not to lean forward with my chest. Stay really upright in the trunk. You could step or jump to change. Nudge, 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 step or jump. Nudge, 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 step or jump. Nudge, nudge, nudge. One more, step or jump. And nudge, nudge, nudge. And then we'll step back together. Feet separated. Now let's do a breath into the toes. And another breath in. And then right behind your chair, we're going to start with music and do these movements in kind of a coordinated and smooth way where you're having to follow along with just a little preparation. Ready? Faster. Straight. Now for that lunge. Step. Last one. Sideways. Step out. Straight. Bend. Straight. Bend. Straight. Straight. Nudge. And we'll step together. And go ahead and shake your legs out. So good coordinated movement with that. As I is smoothly following the music. It looked good. So now we're going to do our impacts. So here, to put your shoes on, and get on the firmest surface that you have. So bare floor is best, or thinner.
Lisa, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so that looked good. Good coordinated, smooth movement. Now to put your shoes on, and we're going to do our impacts. You want to be on bare floor if possible, or else your thinnest part of your rug, if you have that. Okay, so to remember with the impacts, we're going for most of the force into the heel, flat. And even though my foot is flat, I feel almost all the force into my heel. We're going to do another movement to practice with me. It's going to be thump, thump, like with the pedal, thump, thump. So one foot at a heel at a time, thump, 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 and just pedal it out. So different ways of coordinating the body and getting force, because a part of what we know about getting this type of impact force into the hip is that if you change direction, you change speed, you change how you're doing it, you get more benefit. So let's go to some music for this. Nothing. let's get our, whoa. Okay, 3.5 minutes, very good. Usually takes about 3 minutes to get your impacts. Separate the feet, a breath in, a breath out. Do a few toe raises. Try the breath with the toe raise, a breath in and out. Okay, and then we're gonna get our chair. We'll come to the front edge of the chair. And we want to get set up for a safe squat. So feet are separated, hip width apart, knees are also separated. We're gonna slide the hands down toward the knees, stick the seat out, and then feel for your chair. Make sure you're squarely in front of the chair. Now pull in your belly, pull in your urinary muscles, even squeeze your gluteal muscles. And we'll go down. You could use your hands if you need, or you could have your hands out to the front. We want to slowly go down with control. Take a breath in, a breath out. We're going to lean forward. You can use your hands. Your hands would be right at the sides of the chair if you need them. I'm thinking of an open heart, wide shoulders. You could also use your knees, or you could go independently, not using your hands. We'll go down part way. Stop, pull in the belly, urinary muscles, squeeze the seat, softly down. Keep those muscles contracted, and we'll come up. Okay, let's just do the top half. Okay, here's where you be sure your belly, urinary muscles, and seat are working. Push you up, part way down. Push you up. Let's go a little lower each time. Or maybe 2/3 of the way down. Then be sure your core is there. Maybe 3/4 of the way down. And back up. Way to do that. Good for balance, bone density, strength. Let's see if we can barely touch and go back up. Okay, this time we'll go down and we'll land very softly. And let's just push our hands up, jump out, breathe in and out, and in and out and in. Now arms to the sides and out. And we're going to lean and reach up, stretching the side body. Try to have a lot of ways to stretch the ribs, but with these side movements. So good for breathing. Okay, now come halfway forward in your chair. Bring your feet so your heels are under your knees. So this is where we're establishing a good base of support for a few exercises that we're going to do. Let's take the shoes off. So very important that your feet be slightly separated. For a moment, we're going to turn the toes out a little and let the knees fall out a little. Okay, we're going to bring the palms forward. And we're going to kind of let the chin tuck just slightly. So you feel this lengthening in the back of your neck. Palms are facing out even. So we really got a lot of external rotation in the shoulder. Spread the fingers. And here we're going to Lift the breastbone until you feel your shoulders kind of fall back. Belly in. We're going to breathe in through the nose. Small breath out through the mouth. In, lift, shoulders back. And breathe out. Now, belly in, urinary muscles contracted. Contract your seat. We're going to bring the toes forward. We're just going to let the forearms relax so your palms can rotate in, but you still have your shoulders back, really wide through the upper chest. Okay, we're going to do toes out, up to the tippy toes, heels down, toes in, knees in, up to the tippy toes. I'm still kind of pulling back with my arms. So I keep a super straight upper back. Checking in, am I kind of equally out sitting on the chair, both sides of my seat? My shoulders feel like they're equally pulling back. Toes, heel, touch, up, down, and then just toes forward. Okay, and then I'm going to further relax my arms into my sides, but still keeping my shoulders wide. Belly in, because my back might be getting tired about now. Now I'm going to just work on the toes. So I'm keeping my feet flat, ball of the foot stays on the ground, but I lift my toes and spread my toes. So pushing even my little toe into the corner of my sock, my big toe pushing in into the inner quarter. And then I'm going to curl my toes firmly so I feel all the arch muscles working. So now my foot is making a bridge shape. Feet flat, lift and spread, curl. Feet flat, then lift just the toes and spread, and then curl the toes. And then in that lift, follow the foot on the ground, just lifting the tips of the toes up and going flat. Okay. Let's go ahead, scoot back in the chair now, and walk your hips back in the chair. Hands down and pull back and touch your chair somewhere. Sides. But again, we want to keep this wide open chest, open heart. And we're going to swing the knees with a nice kick. We're going to go to working on the ankles by holding the legs out, pull in the belly, contract your seat and your urinary muscles. And we're going to point and flex, point and flex, point, really point and hold, flex and hold. Then separate a little and we're going to circle. Big, slow, strong circles. Making sure your brain could do all the parts of that movement. And then belly in, remember the belly, seat, urinary muscles will circle the other way. Big, slow, strong movements. Thinking of the ankles walking, all the movement that's needed. We're going to put the feet down. And we're going to lean down, stretching the back. And if you need to push forward in the chair a little bit with your hands, you can do that. You really want to get to where you feel like you can really lean forward. Then we're going to tuck the chin, pull in the belly, curl up, and unroll. And leaning, 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 and curl up and unroll. Okay. Now we're going to change direction in the chair a little bit. So what I like to do first, so you mirror me, I'm going to turn the chair at a little angle. So I'm 45 degrees. So I just turned it. Okay. All right. And we're going to hold on to the back of the chair, hold on to the seat of the chair. We use this side sitting position. It's just good for getting extra motion in the shoulders and the hips. So we're gonna straighten one knee, that front knee, point your toe, pull in the belly, pull in the urinary muscles, contract your seat, and we're gonna do this great hip strengthener, stabilizer, slowly out, slowly in, all the time, keeping your heart lifted, keeping your ribs forward, keeping that clenched belly. Okay, and then we're just gonna bring this down, ball of the foot on the ground, and we're gonna do this loosening now, where we let the knee fall out, and then bring the knee into touch, contract your belly, out, keep that belly contraction, in and then squeeze, and out, and in. Then we're gonna bring it out, bring your hand around to the front corner of the chair. I still have one hand on the back, and I'm gonna slide that buttock slightly off the edge of the chair and lower my knee. So now I have, you can see it, behind me I have like this top of my foot laying on the ground. My body's straight, getting somewhat of a stretch here in this thigh. I'm gonna lift the heel off the ground and lower. So lift with the pause and lower, a lift with the pause, lower. I'm gonna lift and hold and pull forward and go back. Working on my hip muscles, pull up and down and back. And then I'm gonna bring my feet together. I'm gonna scoot back. So now I'm firmly on the chair. I'm gonna work on the bone density in my wrists. I'm gonna bring one heel of one hand and then grab around the front of the chair. Heel of the other hand up here. And then I'm gonna give a push, feeling, using the resistance of my body weight to feel some force into the wrists. If your wrists and shoulders are okay, you could even lift your whole body up, but you don't have to. You need any force, 5, 10 pounds, anything helps with bone density. And if you're stable, you can push your belly out, back over the chair and down. Getting some more core strengthening there. Let's start with light pressure. Find out what you can tolerate. If you're okay to lift your whole body, if you're okay, belly out and slowly down. And we'll bring the hands to the front. We'll pedal in the wrist, out to the sides. We'll circle in the wrist, one way and then the other way. Okay, and then let's go ahead and let's turn the chair so you're facing forward. Okay. And then we want to turn the chair a little bit the other direction. This direction, and turn sideways. So you're partially forward. Grab, straighten and point, straighten the back, and out, and in. So if you can't see me, shift your chair so that you can. I didn't do the best, that transition. Okay, we're coming out to the ball of the foot, getting straight in the chair, swiveling, gliding in the hip, a touch, squeeze, get the core engaged, keep the belly and the urinary muscles working. Just sliding and gliding, getting good motion of your hip. Okay, we're going to bring this hand to the front corner of the chair. Slide your buttocks slightly off the chair. Just drop the knee. and point the toe. Kind of lifting up. We're going to lift the heel and lower. So make sure you can see this. So it's a lift and down. I'm trying to keep my trunk really straight. Really use this muscle back here, the back of the thigh and down. So it's a few inches, that lift and pause. Now I'm going to hold it and lift and go back. Using a wide range of hip muscles. Lift and back, and then lift to the front. Feet together, and I'm going to this bone density in my wrist. So that light pressure, whatever your wrists will stand. And then if you are okay, we can give enough pressure to maybe lift the body and to add a core, especially seat coming forward and down. And then just whatever pressure you feel comfortable holding. Do not have to lift your whole body and down. And then let's decompress the wrist. We pedal in the wrist. We'll bring the arms out to the sides and let's circle the wrist one way and then the other. And then we're going to step back to the center. Now we're going to move to some core exercises. Before we move on, we're still going to do the weights in the floor. So scooch to the front edge of your chair, feet forward. Lift the heart. Place your hands right over your upper chest. Clench your belly, urinary muscles and seat. And then we softly touch and lift. And touch and lift. And we'll just touch and stay there. We can drop the hands. Okay, clench the belly, seat, and urinary muscles. We're going to straighten one leg and we're going to lift. Let your chin fall forward a little to relax your neck. And we're doing this slow, smooth, controlled. It's not a kick, it's a controlled lift. And we'll go to the other side. Straighten, point the toe, get your core clenching the urinary muscles, clenching the seat, but chin down, neck relaxed. So it's all the clenching is below the neck. And to make that controlled, we'll put that down. Let's bring one knee up, grab for a stretch. We'll put that straight leg out, grab for a stretch. And now both feet are out flat. You're leaning in the chair and you're more or less a straight line from your heels to your shoulders, except for your head. We want the head to tuck forward a little to avoid stress on the neck muscles. Okay, we're going to take a belly breath. So it's in through the nose and watch your belly expand. And then press the air out using your belly muscles. And we lift the feet about 4 inches. And here we're going to flop the ankles, point and flex, relax the neck, and lower. Another belly breath, in through the nose, compress out through the mouth, and lift, relax the neck. Let's do a toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and down. Let's bring one leg up. Grab and stretch. From here, is it possible to bring the other leg up? Pull and stretch, a little wobble side to side. Now you could alternate your legs, the pulling and stretch, if it doesn't work to have both of them at once. Okay, neck relaxed, clench the belly, let your seat and urinary muscles will let go. And we're gonna slowly lower to the tippy toes. We'll tap, tap, tap. Keep the belly contracted firmly, keep the neck relaxed. Okay, we'll go flat-footed. Okay, let's separate a little. And we're ready to dive to the ground. So it's a big, big dive. Coming over and allowing yourself to dangle and stretch. And walk the hands forward. Walk the hands up, an imaginary ladder, using those back muscles. Whew. Okay, and circle back. And from here, we're gonna go on the floor. So you'll want your weights nearby. We're gonna put our mat crossways in front of the chair. Weights close by. Okay, so from the chair, let's go ahead, we'll stand up. We'll turn sideways to the chair. And think about what's going to be best for you getting down. A lunge works very well for going to the ground for a lot of people, which would be a step forward, ball of the back foot, and down. If you know that's not going to work for you, another way to get down is to come down, hands down, and kind of walk and go to your knees. You can get up the same way. So let's think about what you would prefer. I think I'm going to go down, put my hands in front of my feet, walk them out a little, and bring the knees down. And then from here, we want to go on the back. So go ahead and lay on your back. I'm going to move the screen. We're going to do a few hip exercises here before we go to the weights. So what you want to do is bring one knee up. Hands can be right down at your sides. We're going to straighten the knee. Now you want to clench your belly and your seat and your urinary muscles to hold your pelvis steady. And we're going to do a circular type motion while you're holding steady by clenching your belly. So especially you don't want your low back moving much. You want to keep a little bit of arch there. The low back not like arching more than neutral. Stir the other way. And we'll bring that down. And we're going to lift the other leg. So this is a straight knee, pointed toe. Clenching the belly. Thinking of your whole pelvis and low back being very stable. And we'll circle the other way. And slow. You feel this very strengthening for the hip. Also very good for the abdomen, keeping the abdomen clenched. Now let's just bend that knee. We'll bend the other knee. Think of stretching your hips as you take a little side to side motion. Okay, from here, clench your belly, clench your urinary muscles, straighten both legs. And we're going to do a little circular motion with both legs. Okay, coming back to the center, and let's go the other way. Straight knees, pointed toes, really a strong muscular motion, clenched belly, and then bring those knees to the chest again and give a little side to side. Okay, feet flat. Go ahead and grab your weights, and we'll get some upper chest work that's best done on the floor. We're going to start the elbows next to the body, the weights right over the shoulders. I'm going to shift my hips so my low back's pretty flat to the floor. Palm space inward. Clench your core muscles and push straight up toward the ceiling and then down. And here, elbows are staying in. The elbows just slowly come down on the sides of your rib cage, slowly up, fully straighten, slowly down. Keep those core muscles working. My belly is flattening my low back toward the ground. And to lift and lower, and then I'm going to do the other upper body exercise. So elbows slightly bent, straight out to each side. I'm going to bring these to the center and slightly out. Don't quite go to the ground. My arms kind of form an oval. So look, almost to the ground, pause, back up. Checking in with the core, belly, urinary seat, all working. A tap and out, a tap and out. Okay, I'm going to put the weights down. Okay, I'm going to sit up. So we're going to practice some of these quick movements, which are really good core exercises for sitting. So one is you tuck your chin, and using your arms and legs together, you rock up. First thing to do is tuck your chin though. Otherwise the head's kind of like a loose ball over there. If you've done it once, go down and do it again. Tuck the chin and rock yourself up. Good core workout doing that. Okay, and now we want to get up. So the best way is to go to hands and knees. And then from here, you have a choice. I think I'll reverse what I did to get down. I'm going to tuck my toes first thing. Move my hands in toward my knees. I'm going to go to my fists, a little easier. And then I'm going to lift my knees and then walk in and stand up. But you can use your chair, do whatever you need to do. Get up from the ground. We're going to get our shoes on and get the mat out of the way. And we'll get our weights. And we'll finish with standing exercises with the weights. So regarding these exercises, they can be done without weights. We'll be doing some lunging, squat, and plie with the weights. You don't have to lunge. You could even sit and do all the exercises with or without weights. So to please adapt to your energy level and how you're feeling. Important thing is to leave class with energy and feeling refreshed, and definitely not to hurt any of your joints or muscles. So this is the point where good time to evaluate and think, so where am I and what am I still able to do? Okay. All right. We are going to start with a march. So we're kind of doing a lot of march today. This is just good for balance and coordination. Okay, we're going to bring them up. Makes the balance a little harder. And now we're going to lift the opposite weight to the ceiling in the lift. So I'm going for a straight elbow. I'm trying to push straight up and not out to the side or out to the front. And lift and down. I'm going to drop this and I'm going to do a loose swing, catching my breath. Okay, I'm going to go to the front of the chair now. And I'm using my weights. I'm going to do a few squats up and down from the chair. Now, you may know sitting is too hard for me to use weights. You don't have to use the weights for this. But this, we're going to bend the elbow at 90 degrees, the palms facing each other, centered in front of your chair. Make sure you're centered and you're touching your chair. Seat back and slowly down and up. If your feet weren't wide enough, I felt mine weren't, widen a little, down and up. And we're just slowly landing real soft, looking for coordination and control. And down and up. Okay, and from here, I'm going to put the chair a little over to the side, just remembering I can always reach out and touch the chair if I need to. I'm going to stand a little behind the back leg so I can do a forward lunge. Put one leg down. I'm going to do a halo here. So front foot, back, ball of the foot, nudge, add your core. We're going around the head and around the other way. So kind of working on the shoulders. I'm going to bring this down as I step back. Step forward with my other foot, settle into my lunge. I make sure I see my front toe. I'm on the ball of the back foot, both toes forward, seat, belly, urinary muscles, coming up and around. So that raising the center of gravity makes this a balance challenge. I feel my feet working a little harder for me to keep my balance. I just change direction. So good for my shoulder mobility to do that. We're going to step back. Okay. Now we'll take both weights a little harder. So this is a little more impact for your lunge when you're holding this extra weight. Front, touch if you need. Both toes forward. I see my front toe. I'm going to bring the weights forward. Elbows are bent. I'm going to do a figure 8. Now just moving the work down into the center of my body. Clench your belly, your seat, your urinary muscles. We'll swing back. Step forward again. And lunge. Align, core. And we'll do a figure 8. You really want to feel this kind of around the area of your belly button, your lower ribs. We can swing back. Okay. Let's step forward. As we catch our breath, let's rotate out and in, getting kind of a loose rotation in the shoulder. Okay, we're getting ready. Let's step into a back lunge, which is to the ball of the foot. So I step forward. I'm just past the front leg of my chair, so that when I step back, I'm right along the side of the chair in case I need to put a hand out. Now, I'm just going to pull those weights right up toward my armpits. Elbows get to go out. It's a little unusual. Step forward, other leg back, elbows out. I'm trying not to shrug my shoulder. Try to keep the shoulder down as I pull up, going back, pull, pull. Our last back lunge, a pull, and the pull, and a step forward. Okay, and we'll finish with a couple of side lunges. So let's bring the weights back 90 degrees, weights facing each other. Side lunge, which just remember isn't a large step. Side lunge, we're going to drop, and we're going to do biceps. Flat back, we're bringing the end of the weight toward the shoulder. And then pushing the seat forward and back to the center. And you can go right behind your chair with this. If you want, I'm going to move my chair. Okay, so it's that step to the side. I get myself right over that leg. And then I hinge. Okay, I'm going to drop my hands without dropping my shoulders. So no dropping shoulders. Shoulders stay wide. And then biceps right up to the shoulder. And then seat forward. A step to the other side. The hinge. Shoulders stay wide. Up. Belly in. Other side. Hinge. Up and straight. Up and straight. And back in. And let my whole body turn and swing. Let's try a joint recovery after all those lunges, especially getting the hip and the knees, that little twist. Okay, and then we'll set the weights aside. Okay, and we'll get ready for our 5 deep, vigorous breaths. So palms forward, feet kind of wide. Check. Let's think of toes straight forward. Pull back, widen, add your core muscles now, and 5 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth.